Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say.
Good morning, Princeton. Good morning, Tacoma, Washington. And good morning to you. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Full house today. Welcome. Thank you. Have a seat. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Please say hello to my sidekick sister from another Mr. and Miss I Didn't Get the Memo, Kendall Mark, everybody. I'm sorry. What's the problem? You look a little upset this morning.
Jason, I love Dress Up Day. How dare you not tell me?
Okay, so it is our first ever Aloha Friday today. That's right. It's our first ever, but nobody told Kendall.
Yeah.
And I forgot. Executive producer Jeff is in his Hawaiian gear. I'm in my little Hawaiian gear. Yeah, Leo, can we take Jeff Cam? Can we show so that I'm not the only one? There's Jeff in his Hawaiian gear, yeah.
Leo's in Hawaiian gear.
Photographer Eric has his pineapple underwear on, so that's fantastic. Yeah.
Leo, look at
there's director Leo, everybody. Addie has her clamshell top on. It's fantastic.
Y'all stop clapping. This isn't funny.
This
is atrocious.
You look, but you know what?
I look lovely. Blah blah blah.
You do. How you doing? Other than that, the Aloha Friday snafu, how you doing?
Snafu.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Great. Thanks. Everything's fine. I'm bitter. Bitter Betty, Jason.
I'm great because I have so many things to tell you. First, hey, we have a special guest in the audience. It's our JVIP. Say hi to Brooke, everybody. Hi, Brooke. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Brooke. Brooke is a third grade teacher, so right there, yes, clap for that. Brooke is a third grade teacher. And if I don't already love her because of that, because if you watch the show, you know that my third grade teacher is my favorite, Mrs. Freeze. Hi, Mrs. Freeze. Here's another reason I love Brooke. She loves Disney. That's right, yes. Brooke. And Brooke, I don't know if you noticed, but this isn't just a Hawaiian shirt. It's a Disney Hawaiian shirt. Yes, yeah. Now, here's the good news. Now, take that shot again, Leo. Now, this is what I love. Brooke is sitting in a lovely chair, okay? And that bookcase she gets to take home as soon as the show's over, right there. Yes, that lovely, lovely bookcase, yeah.
I hope it fits in your car.
Yeah, if it doesn't fit in your car, then we'll have it shipped to you. But she also, oh wait, Lori's also giving her a Jason Show mug. That's right, thank you, Lori. Well, welcome to the show. Okay, and also, one more thing. We also have a birthday in the house. It's Karen's birthday, everybody. In the front row right there, Leo, in the front row. And happy birthday, sweetie. And then the audience, this is what I love, and I messed it up. The audience, you know, we do a little pre-show warm-up.
Yeah.
And you know how I say hi to cities every morning? Mm-hmm. Well, this audience had very specific cities that they wanted me to say hello to.
Oh, okay.
So hello to Winstead.
Hello.
Hello, Winstead. Hello to Hugo.
Hugo.
Hello to Hugo.
Okay, yeah.
Where's Hugo at? Woo, right there. Oh. I can smell party girls a mile away right there. And then Winnebago's here. So hello to all of them. What?
I said, oh, hey.
Yeah. We have a good show coming up. Some more of my interviews with the cast of Elvis, which I hope you guys go see this weekend. And my interview with the woman who plays Priscilla, B.B. King, and the great guy that plays Little Richard.
Cool.
He inhabits Austin Butler obviously inhabits Elvis. The guy that plays Little Richard is amazing. He's in it for just a little bit, but in that one scene, you can't take your eyes off him. It's he's so good. You ready? Are you not going to talk to me for the rest of the show?
Upset. I'm a little upset.
You're just going to use minimal words today? Okay. Well, in that case, I'll have to get Karen to co-host the show with me. Here we go. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Roll it. Taylor Swift dropped a new song overnight while we were all sleeping. It's on the soundtrack for the upcoming movie Where the Crawdads Sing, and it's called Carolina. Let's listen. I haven't heard this yet. Let's listen to it together.
Carolina stains on the dress she left, indelible scars, pivotal marks, blue as the life she fled. Carolina pines, won't you cover me, hide me like wolves down the black road, muddy
That's Where the Crawdads Sleep. It's a thank you, one moment. A little sleepy. But the book, Where the Crawdads Sing, is a mystery drama based on the best-selling book. It's produced by Reese Witherspoon. Now, you're a rabid reader. You and your mom have a book club here on our show. Have you read the Crawdad book?
I've been wanting to, but it's been really popular because the movie's coming out. My mom has read it, and she said it's like one of her top 10 favorite books ever.
Oh, whatever.
That's what she told me. Like the other day, just very randomly texted my other sister, Chloe, who reads a lot, and we're like, hey, by the way, if you're looking for a good book, I totally forgot about this. There's a movie coming out.
And that says a lot because your mom, the Sid, hi Sid, she reads a lot.
She's a librarian.
Well, I know, yeah.
You know?
So to say that it's one of her favorite books ever, that's like Oprah saying it's one of her favorite books. Because Oprah reads a lot, so Sid reads a lot.
Oh yeah, Reese Witherspoon has it as one of her favorites, and she's got her big book club. And
Okay, now be honest though, hot take on that song though.
I think it works for how, so I did watch all the little teasers they put up for this movie because I've been really excited to see it.
Yeah.
And I think it'll fit really well on its own.
I was gonna say, I don't want the Swifties after me. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah.
It's Pride weekend. I'm already not here. You know what I mean? And I have Pride shoes on. I'll show you later.
He does.
But I gotta be honest, I'm not ever gonna listen to that song. It's very sleepy.
I know. I really like Gaga's new song for Top Gun, but now they're playing it so much that
it ruins it. Yeah, that's what radio stations tend to do. Yeah.
You people.
Not mine, but I'm saying the other ones. Yeah. Next on the dish. Much like the management here at Fox 9, Stephen Colbert hosted a business summit this week. When the managers go for margaritas, they call it a business summit. That's their new thing. Anyway, Stephen really did go to a business summit, and towards the end, he talked about this is great, how regular guests make entrances, when they come out, hey, versus how movie stars make entrances on his show. Look.
This is how most people come on one of these shows, okay? Please welcome Brent Gelman, okay? Like this. Hey, thanks very much, like that. Say hi to me, like this. Hey, thanks. Oh, thanks very much. Thank you. Perfectly normal. Hi, thanks very much. They come over here, they sit down like that. There you go. Hi, okay? Nothing wrong with that. Perfectly fine. And then there are movie stars. And it never fails. And you watch the show from now on, and you'll see this is how this happens. So this is how a movie star comes on, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, Brad Pitt. Okay, Brad Pitt, like this.
It's very true. It's very true. They touch. We were laughing. Jeff and I were laughing because we both were the same age and we grew up on the Oprah Winfrey Show, like a lot of us here in the audience. 4 o'clock, man. That's what you did. Or like me, I grew up in Chicago, so we had it at 9 a.m. Anyway, one of the best things ever, first, when Oprah used to, after the credits, when Oprah would walk, through the door, those doors would open, and then you could always tell when someone would go to hug her, and she didn't want to be hugged, so they would, she'd go like this. They would stick out her hands, and Oprah would grab their hands like this. She stopped their hands in midair, like, woo! And she would go like this, so you thought she was wooing you.
Yeah.
Woo! No, all she was doing was preventing your hands from going like this. Yeah. It's true.
Motachi.
Well, she used to, back in the day, she used to shake the hand of every single audience member for like the first 7 years of the show. And then, but then what happened was people would stop and be like, Oprah, can I tell you about this thing? And it got to be like a 3-hour endeavor. So she's like, I'm out. Yeah.
Virtual handshake.
Show's over. Peace. I'm out. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to take a break. Like I said, we have a great show ahead. Go get some more orange juice, coffee. We'll be back after this. Back in a moment. The dish isn't done. Coming up next, what happens when you put a bunch of dramatic ex-housewives in one house for a week? Absolute chaos. My review of Housewives, Ultimate Girls Trip. Then, meet the Minnesotan who's been a part of some of the best and biggest comedies of all time. I'm talking Veep, The Office, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Roger Nygard joins me live. And more of my conversations with the cast of Elvis, including the delightful actors who's bringing Priscilla Presley to the big screen. That and more when The Jason Show continues. Welcome back. Welcome back to Aloha Friday. Aloha Friday, minus Kendall.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. Next Aloha Friday, we will tell you.
Uh-huh.
I promise.
Sure. That's right.
Karen's like, maybe not. Yeah. Evan Rachel Wood was a guest on Fallon last night. She's going to play Madonna in the upcoming Weird Al Yankovic movie. Teleprompter, come on up. Come on up. I think they're sleeping in there in the control room. And she talked about taking that role. And that is our late night rewind.
It was like, oh God, do I want to do this? This is like a lot of responsibility. But it's in a comedy. It's not like it's not a Madonna biopic.
You don't think you would do a Madonna?
I think that would be way too much pressure. Like, I don't know. So like as a comedy, I could definitely do it.
You nailed the look. I mean, do you?
Yeah.
Do you talk like Madonna? How does Madonna talk?
Well, it was a specific Madonna. It's early '80s Madonna, and
early 80s Madonna, she really, she was very nasally, and everything she said was very intentional. And she disarms everyone that interviews her by just sort of looking at them.
Wow. And have you talked to Madonna? Does Madonna know you're playing her?
No!
Are you scared?
I'm a little scared. I mean, it was like halfway through filming, and I just assumed, well, they've obviously cleared this with her. And then halfway through filming, I looked at them. I was like, so you guys obviously, you talked to Madonna, how'd it go? And they were like, I was like, oh, great. Now, great, thanks, guys. You just put me on, like, bad terms with Madonna.
Would you want that pressure? No. I don't know if you'd want that pressure.
No.
I would almost rather Madonna not know. Let her just find out when she watches it on video.
And then you can go hide if she doesn't like it.
Exactly. It's time for a special serving of our hot dish all the way from Hollywood. Give it up for Michael Babcock from TMZ. Hi, buddy.
Jason. Morning, how are you?
I'm well, my friend. Well, Dave Chappelle putting his money where his mouth is, and he's the new owner of a lot of land. What is this?
This is awesome. And Jason, forgive me if it's loud back here. It's hard to hear because we're shooting the show and they're yelling. This is great. This is Dave Chappelle playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. So there's a place called Yellow Springs, Ohio, and Dave Chappelle lives there. And he had plans to build this restaurant and this comedy club. Well, there was a land developer who tried to come in, Jason, and they had plans for this 52-acre subdivision of residential properties. And a lot of people, including Dave Chappelle, from the small town, did not want this development built. So Dave Chappelle actually goes to a town council meeting and passionately, says, hey, this cannot happen. The people don't want this. And he actually even says, if you allow this developer to come in, I might just pull my project. That was not yet built. So that was in February. They approved it. They did not listen to Dave or the other people, and they gave it the go-ahead. So what did Dave do? He buys something like 19 acres of land that the developers were planning to use for this residential area. And now, if he hasn't completely stopped it from happening, he has severely altered, limited their plans. So what a brilliant move by Dave Chappelle.
Well, and for people that think this is a stunt, I don't know if you saw his great interview with Letterman on Letterman's Netflix show. He loves these people. It's not just a publicity stunt. No. That town loves him, and he loves that town.
No, you're so right. I did see that interview, and right, this is not just a place where Dave's building a business and doesn't care about the area. He lives there. These are his neighbors. They're his friends. And it's a small place. We're not talking about, obviously we're not talking about New York City here where we have millions and millions of people. This is a really small, tight, small, close-knit community. And they didn't want all these people coming in and this big developer. So, yeah, I mean, I thought it was great, to be honest with you. The people don't want it.
No. Michael, I love this story. Tell the folks about David Spade and Burger King.
Yeah, this is really cool, Jason. So there was this guy, and he has worked at Burger King for 27 years. And not only has he just worked at Burger King, he never misses time, like 100% perfect attendance for almost 3 decades. So he gets, on his 27th anniversary, he has given from the company, his coworkers, this goodie bag, and it basically has like stickers and a movie ticket in there, some not the greatest presents. I mean, I suppose it's the thought that counts, but not the best stuff. So the video of the guy getting this stuff goes viral, and a lot of people see it, including some celebrities. And a GoFundMe was started for this guy. So David Spade actually reached out to this guy and said, "Hey, I appreciate you." And yeah, there's the message right there. And actually, Jason, he ends up giving $5,000 of his own money towards this man. Not only that, you have a bunch of just ordinary people out there who see this and want to help this man out. And the last I checked before I sat in the chair here, it was about $47,000 to GoFundMe. So I would imagine that sum of money probably changes that man's life, and pretty cool.
Absolutely, he deserves it. And you deserve a good weekend. Thanks, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Jason. Bye, guys.
Michael Babcock from TMZ. More of those stories at TMZ.com. I love that. Okay, can we just, I love to bust on big old companies and bosses. Come on, Burger King. The guy works, the guy works for you
27 years.
27 years. And you give them stickers and a little gift bag?
Right.
Come on,
And
shame on you.
And never misses a day.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you kidding?
Just think about that. Almost as, and I'm not throwing, almost as old as you are. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, close. It's your entire life. That dude worked at Burger King, and you're gonna give him, a Whopper Jr. and a sticker, a scratch and sniff sticker.
I stopped listening when you called me 27, and I just went, yes.
I know. Well, you look 27. That's how beautiful you are.
Sucking up today.
Trying to butter her up today. I'm just trying. Yeah. Well, I love to give you a little dish and some side dish. It's not our station, but do you want me to tell you a little blind item story that's similar to this? I know somebody in our business, and this isn't at our station. I promise you. I really would promise you. This anchor has been with a company for, I think it was 30 years. Do you know what? And they threw a party, and not a party. They had a little reception, and do you know what they gave this person for their 30th anniversary? A cheesecake that served 7. A cheesecake that served 7, and they invited all the employees up, so they had to really slice that cheesecake up. Yeah.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
Won't say who, but if you find me a little tipsy in a bar, I'll tell you. I'll tell this audience in the commercial. Next to the dish, Al Pacino. Al Pacino was on the Today Show this week, and prior to his interview with Harry Smith, he had to explain his cell phone cover. Look.
So we had this confiscated from you.
Boy, the famous food. My daughter gave me that.
Right.
My youngest daughter put that on my phone. I didn't even look at it until social media told me what was on my phone. And I took a look and said, that's Shrek. Yes.
And you still have it.
Of course. It was a gift.
That endears me to him. You gotta love that. You gotta, if your family gives you gotta.
I gave my dad when we got our dogs in like 2017, I gave him a shirt that said "World's Best Paw Paw," and every time we come over, he pulls out that T-shirt.
Aww.
It's sweet. It's like I.
You gotta keep that stuff, yeah. Are you kidding? My mom keeps everything. Like she has my lock of hair. She keeps, my
The
first
tooth.
lock. Yeah, everything. Al's phone was first spotted when he was out to dinner with Jason Momoa. It's like, anyway, next in the dish, I watched the first 2 episodes of the 2nd season of The Ultimate Girls Trip. That's the show on Peacock that features former Real Housewives. They were all fired. So they decided it would be a great idea to bring them back together and put them in the house at one house for a week. Here's just a little bit of the insanity.
When you tell that truth, a unicorn's gonna show up.
Birds of a feather flock together. I am not flocking with that bird.
Shut the up. No, you shut the up. I won't tell you anything anymore about my relationship. How's that? I was on a show that you're no longer on. I love you. Stop! I am social distancing from the
I can't go to another hospital with you. It's giving me a mangina.
What the is a mangina? Don't be a liar.
I'm gonna walk away because I'm about to get.
She doesn't book to lie.
We are fighting about stuff I did.
There's a lot of conflict going on with 8 women.
The only conflict is you.
What made you think the lady was a lesbian?
Her eyebrows.
I gotta tell you, that's Phaedra from Atlanta. When you watch this, and we watched 2 episodes last night, I have 2 thoughts. You realize how much you missed Phaedra and how much you miss her. I know she did Candy dirty, but I'm just saying you miss Phaedra. Number 2, this is what I compare this to. In the summer, you always hear, speaking of books, it's a good trashy summer read by the pool.
Yeah.
This is the TV equivalent of that. It's like fried food. It's empty calories, but my God, is it delicious. You know what I mean? It's so good. Just eat it.
I don't know how we even found a clip that you could play.
We couldn't. We had to pick the trailer. We couldn't find a clip that didn't have a cuss word in it. But that line from Phaedra comes in episode 2 where Brandy goes, I think that woman's a lesbian. And Phaedra, I love the way she said how can you tell she's a lesbian? And then Brandy goes, her eyebrows. Yeah. I'm a gay, and I didn't know there were lesbian eyebrows. I didn't know.
I didn't either.
Let's say hi to Brooke again. Give it up for Brooke, our JVIP. Hey, Brooke. Brooke, you might have heard me say, and I do mean this, it's hard to tell when I'm not being sarcastic, my 3rd grade teacher changed the trajectory of my life because she realized that I was a little different and, created a little drama program for me because she knew I didn't like sports. I hope you realize, it's not really a question, I just wanted to compliment you in this era where it's really easy to pick on teachers. On behalf of every little Jason and every person that was changed by a good teacher, thank you for what you do. Sincerely, thank you for what you do. I want you to know that even if your students don't tell you in the moment, or even 5 years or 10 years, there'll be students like me who get to adulthood and realize in moments how you've changed their lives, and I know that you're going to have students like that. You probably already have, so thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, my thank you is you get to take that bookcase home right behind you. Yes. Let's just shove that in there. Yeah. We're going to take a break. More of my cast interviews with Elvis and much more when we come back. Back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. I am really excited for our next guest. And I promise I won't get too in the weeds. I won't nerd out too much because I have very specific questions. But anyway, our guest today has been a part of Hollywood for decades, directing his first movie in 1990. Since then, Roger Nygard has directed TV shows like, and let me tell you, these aren't just little shows, The Office, and edited some of the biggest shows on TV. I'm talking Grey's Anatomy. He's had his hands on Veep. And, that sounded weird, and Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's also made documentaries, including the 90s classic Trekkies, all about Star Trek fans. If you don't remember, look at this.
Well, this is Captain Pike's total life support unit. As you can see, it encompasses the entire body except for the head, and it supports life and takes him wherever he needs to go. The beautiful simplicity of the way it works is that you can ask him a yes or no question, kind of like a binary computer. And for yes, it's 1 blink, and for no, it's 2 blinks. So.
I mean, come on. I'm a nerd, and it doesn't get any better than that. Tomorrow, the Minnesota native will be honored with a rightful retrospective and screening of his movies at the Great Parkway Theater in Minneapolis. Please welcome to the show director, producer, and editor, Roger Nygard, everyone. Roger, thank you for being here.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you so much for being here. As I said, I'm going to try not to nerd out because I'm a kid of TV and I have so many like inside baseball questions, but I'll keep it broad for the audience. What I always love, I call them spark stories. You know, you heard me talk about the 3rd grade teacher. That my spark to get into TV was my grandma Mazak watching Dallas and Carson with her. What was the spark for you?
Oh, my parents. My parents would watch TV, and I would lay on the carpet on the floor and watch Hitchcock movies. My mother loved Hitchcock movies. My dad loved sci-fi and action. So that's one reason Star Trek entered my life.
And then didn't you get your dad had a camera, am I right on that? Or you grabbed a camera?
I stole it, kind of. He left it out. You know, whenever something was left out, I would have it disassembled in 5 minutes. But he left out his 8mm camera, and I took it and started making crazy little videos, or films, and then I've never stopped since about age 7.
Well, okay, that leads to, yeah. And I think this is a question/statement. Don't you think we're really lucky? Because I always talk to people, and I never vacillated, and I don't know about you. I had friends like in the college era who didn't know what they want for their major. I never questioned what I was meant to do.
Same here.
So wrapping my brain around how can you not know what to do? I always consider myself very lucky. Do you feel the same way?
Yes, I knew what I loved early, and I pursued my love, which I've done my whole life. And I know a lot of people who go to college, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, which is fine eventually if you settle on something, but the sooner you know, the sooner you can move forward and get ahead in such a competitive industry.
So let's talk about that industry. 1990s, your first film.
Yes.
With I mean, I don't know if the audience is going to know the actor Jim Carrey. We know Jim from In Living Color. There he is. What was he like? What was your first impression, Roger, of Jim?
He made everyone laugh. He was literally a Gumby, a living Play-Doh person. And we essentially in the film, he has a very small cameo. We just let him do his thing. It was like, okay, Jim, go. And then he was funny, and we used it.
Did you have an idea when you're watching him, Roger, going, this guy could go somewhere? You hear those stories where directors or editors see something, the it. Did you see that in Jim?
I've seen it in many people, but not everyone gets so lucky.
Yeah.
He finally got his chance. But I knew Jim when he was $30,000 in debt, and his manager had to loan him money to pay his rent. And that was just before he got Earth Girls Are Easy and then In Living Color. But before that, he was just a nobody.
Yeah, and needing money.
Yes.
Needing that check. That clip there a few minutes ago, let's talk about Trekkies. How did you, I remember watching this the first time, and I'm a nerd, I'm a sci-fi nerd, I'm more Star Wars, but how did you get in this? How did you land on Trekkies?
Denise Crosby it was her idea. She was in my first film, the Jim Carrey film called High Strung, which
Denise
is the first
Crosby
one.
from Next Generation, everybody, yeah.
That's the first film screening on Saturday at the Parkway, High Strung. She and I became friends, and she pitched me the idea one day. She said, someone should do a documentary about Star Trek fans. And I was like, no one's done that? It's so obvious. Of course.
Did you know, like, what day on the set when you're filming, I will not call these people, these are my people. When did you know you're looking in the lens like this is gold? Did you know right away?
From the very first shoot, we went to a convention and filmed. It was as a test. We got some money, seed money from some producers. We'll just shoot one Star Trek convention and see if there's anything good there. And we were just blown away because you can go to a convention and throw a rock and anyone you hit is interesting.
Yep, truly, yeah. So you knew, I mean, there's like catnip.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me go through some other ones. So we have 6 Days in Roswell.
And that was who, in the clip from Trekkies, is Rich Kronfeld, who's a Minnesota native, who stars in 6 Days in Roswell.
And then The Truth About Marriage. And then, so all of this, when you hear me in the introduction there say retrospective.
Yes.
What does that make you feel like? Is it accomplishment or you're like, holy crap, I've been doing this a long time?
Yeah, this will never happen again. This is a one-time event. So people, if you come, please say hello. But you mentioned The Truth About Marriage. I noticed there's 1 or 2 women in your audience today.
Just a few.
If you pick one movie to see on Saturday, bring your husband, boyfriend, significant other, gay couples, bring the masculine dominant one to see the movie because the thesis of the film is men are terrible listeners. Anybody? And I talk to the experts, and if they say if you want to have a happy, successful relationship with longevity, men have to learn how to listen. And the secret is just shut up.
Yeah. End of film. Yeah. When we come back, more with Roger. I'm going to talk to him again about Veep, Curb, and more when we come back. Back in a moment. The Roger Nygard retrospective is happening tomorrow at the Parkway Theater. Again, 6 screenings. For ticket and info, theparkettheater.com. Parkway Theater. We'll be right back. Back in a moment, everybody. Oh, God. Welcome back, everybody. Good Friday crowd. Well, not only is our guest Roger a director and producer, but he's also a longtime editor behind some of the funniest episodes from shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm and one of my all-time favorite shows, not just comedy shows ever, Veep. Look.
You know, Mom. What? Therapists can help with all kinds of problems that aren't necessarily mental illness. I mean, my woman is amazing.
You're in therapy? Since when?
Since I was 13.
Well, what you really needed was a dermatologist.
That's from his Emmy-nominated work on the HBO show starring our favorite Julie Louis-Dreyfus. Roger has a new book about his time in Hollywood. It's called Cut to the Monkey, a Hollywood editor's behind-the-scenes secrets to making hit comedies. Okay, we were talking in the break. It's a bounty. I mean, sometimes you have to work hard to piece a show together.
Yes.
I would imagine Veep, it's not that hard.
It's hard in a fun way because they give me so much good material to choose from. When you watch an episode, what's there is because I thought it was funny. I get to choose. That's what's wonderful about being an editor. And so if it makes it through me, you get to see it. Then the producer, director, they come in and we finesse things around, but 80% is the editor.
So I was just going to say, so for the folks watching, and this is where I will get a little inside baseball, but I think you will find it interesting. Where do you start? I know the process is long, but where does your job start and the others end? So the actors, obviously, they're on set, they film, they give everything to you, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens next for you?
Jeff Schaffer, one of the showrunners, once said to me, we drop the footage off like it's an unwanted baby and say, we'll see you when he's in college.
That's a great way to put it.
They want you to fix everything, and that's your job. The editor is essentially the rewriter. We rewrite the script. It's the final rewrite of the script.
What do you mean by that?
I choose what goes in. I move things around. Sometimes they shot something later. I put it at the beginning to make a scene work. Sometimes they shoot way too much. They go on past the punchline. And it's my job to know story structure and joke structure and to make the most concise, effective version of a scene.
So they trust you so much that the executive producer obviously can come in and go, but they give you creative freedom with that.
Very often, like on Curb Your Enthusiasm, yes, 100%. On a show like Grey's Anatomy, that's much more cut to the script. They've written a good script, they want the script on screen, and so I have to just recreate what they shot. So that's sort of the spectrum.
We're showing Curb here. I know this is a generic question, but I think people want to know, when you think of working with Larry, Larry David is, finish the sentence, working with Larry David is like?
Being on the show. Imagine sitting in a room with Larry David for 6 months And it's so enjoyable. It's so funny. He'll come in and talk about something crazy that happened to him in his life because he hates to leave his house. But often he's forced to. He's got to go to a party where somebody's going to renew their wedding vows, and he'll say, "Oh, it was awful. It was horrible." Then he realized there was a camera on him because the videographer is, filming the event, and the camera's seeing how horrible he's making these horrible faces. This is terrible. So now he realizes, I've got to pretend I like it. So he's now fawning over them and pretend, "Oh, wonderful, wonderful." And that made it into season 11 the next year. So the little stories he tells often end up in the show, and I get to hear it and we talk about it as it's developed.
And we're allowed to say you're getting ready for 12, right?
Season 12,
yeah,
yes.
Season 12, yeah.
Is next. Starts shooting in October.
Really quick before you go, the book. What was that process like? I mean, directing, editing, and now writing a book is a whole different beast.
I often had other editors ask me, how do you cut comedy? Because it's so different from drama. So I started making notes and giving them suggestions, and 2 years later, I had finished a book when I realized I had these people trapped in a room with me. I had Sacha Baron Cohen, or Julia, or Larry David, or Judd Apatow, and I could interrogate them. And so I asked them, what's funny and not funny? How do you know? And so I gathered their wisdom, or their quips, really, and collected it with my thoughts and put it in the book.
We have 30. I asked the version of the question with Larry David. You mentioned Sacha. Working with Sacha Baron Cohen is?
Oh, he's like a scientist of comedy. He will test things and put it on a waveform and compare screenings from Germany and England. Why didn't this joke work? This one did work. And then he'll zoom in on a timeline. Oh, the sound effect is out of sync. That fixes it. Now it's funny. He's so different from everyone else.
Technical.
Yeah,
very technical.
Yeah.
Like Seinfeld when he constructs his act is very...
Oh, well, methodically planned and pre-plotted. You can't improvise story, but the dialogue is improvised.
Unbelievable. Again, I could do a 2-hour special with Roger, but we can't. Give it up for Roger, everybody. The Roger Nygard retrospective is happening tomorrow. So, I mean, more Roger tomorrow at the Parkway Theater in Minneapolis. It features, as I said, 6 screenings of 6 movies and much more. For tickets and information, bloop, it's right there at the bottom of your screen. Head to theparkwaytheater.com. We'll post this whole thing. And then, by the way, there's the book, Cut to the Monkey. It is available now wherever you...
I'll be there. I'll sign autographs. I'll sign arms, heads, books, whatever you got.
Within reason, Roger, this audio. We'll be right back, everybody. Back in a moment. That was great. Thank you. Welcome back to Aloha Friday. I keep explaining that because I'm sure some people turning on the show, what the hell is he wearing? Yeah. Well, yesterday we aired our special Elvis show. I got the chance to see the movie a couple weeks ago, and then I interviewed the cast. But there was a lot more we didn't show you. I chatted with several other members of the cast, basically everyone but Tom Hanks. You're seeing them right there, including the guy that played their top left, played B.B. King. The woman next to him, Olivia, played Priscilla. And down there, Sister Rosetta Tharpe, Yola right down there, who was really the mother of rock and roll, and the gentleman next to her is the guy that plays the wonderful Little Richard. You guys know I love Priscilla Presley. I've said it many, many, many times. The woman who played her, Olivia DeJonge, was just as lovely as Priscilla, and she talked about the first time she met Priscilla. I'm assuming you were nervous but yet excited. What was that like for you?
Very nervous, I think, I'd sat with her for a long time, metaphorically speaking, and I felt like I knew her even though I didn't. And I think, it's always apprehensive to meet, somebody that you played, and I can imagine it would have been so strange for her too, Like I'm just some like small Aussie girl, I guess, that played her in a film and, took on her life and tried to, I guess, bring something real to it. And it was strange for sure at first, but as I've got to know her, she's lovely.
She is lovely. And Priscilla really liked her performance. Next up, as I mentioned, I chatted with Alton Mason. He plays Little Richard. And again, he was only in like one scene, but he steals it. And Yola, who played Sister Rosetta Tharpe. It's the second character that you may not know, and Lola, but you're going to. I'm so happy because it was an education for me. This is amazing. She talked about taking on that important role.
I grew up with Sister Rosetta Tharpe, okay? I idolized her. She was I knew she invented rock and roll, and I was kind of peeved that other people would either dance around that fact or just not mention it at all. And I play guitar, and the number of times I was told, even in approaching playing guitar, that I had no right playing guitar because that just wasn't a black thing to do, was like a lot. And it really just inhibited my progress for years. And so I wanted to rectify that wrong so no other kid got what I got. That was like just a really personal motivation. And then obviously to give Black America their flowers for inventing something that we take for granted and that we make a whole lot of money off. Like, we need to know that this came from a queer Black woman from the South who was not just a pioneer, but an inventor of something that then is a gift to the world. And so, yeah, that's a straight up honor. I am luckiest girl in town, I'll tell you that right now.
She was so good. So good. Finally, another character who makes an appearance in the film is B.B. King. Kevin Harrelson took on that role, and I talked about the cast and what it was like working with Austin Butler and Baz.
Dude, like when you walk on set and you see them, first of all, I've heard about the level of commitment and time Austin put in way before I even got there, probably like a year or two before I got there. So you already know that the bar is here. So if you're coming in here, you already lost. You need to get off the set because you're not gonna be able to keep up. So you work really hard, yeah.
Did you hear, were you hearing what Austin was doing and you're like, oh, I'm here, I gotta go up at least like right there.
I gotta at least be here so he's not looking down too much, you know what I mean?
He did, he really did. He played young B.B. King. I promise y'all, I'll be done talking about it because you'll see it this weekend, and it really is good. Don't listen to the naysayers that say that Austin's not good as Elvis. It is. You may not even love the movie as much as I did, but nobody should take anything away from Austin's performance. It is that good. So go see it this weekend. It's a movie you should see in theaters. I've seen it twice, and I'll probably see it a third time. We're going to take a break. I'm going into the audience when we come back. Back in a moment. Welcome back. Real life moment, didn't get much of a warning, have a mint in my mouth. Okay, I'm gonna try not to choke on live television. We usually do the world's shortest segment here, but you know, we already celebrated one birthday, my buddy Karen here, but there's another. The camera keeps moving, Leo, I'll say right here. But there's another birthday in the house. Vanessa is here as well, happy birthday. She's turning 35. We won't show Vanessa just in case she doesn't want anyone to know her age. There she is. Happy birthday. You look. See, Karen's even saying happy birthday. If you want to celebrate your birthday with us, tickets are available. Just go to the Jason Show Facebook page and look to your left. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this. Back in a moment. Woo. Right, Karen? Welcome back, everybody. Aloha Friday. One more reference. It is time for the surprise goodbye. You know how this works. We don't know what's in this segment until I read it right now. First, there was a Doritos shell taco. Now Taco Bell is trying a new snack item on the menu, Cheez-Its. Check this out. Taco Bell is testing out giant Cheez-Its in several menu items. One is a big Cheez-It tostada with a Cheez-It cracker the size of your head as the tortilla. The other is a Cheez-It Crunch Wrap with the same giant cracker inside a tortilla shell. Right now, they seem to only be available at a Taco Bell in Irvine, California, but could spread to the rest of the country.
Yes!
No, I know you love, and you know I hate Cheez-Its, so that sounds disgusting.
Oh, that salty goodness.
Bull.
Clap it on the tongue, salt side. Hey.
Gross. But you know who I do love? Give it up for Brooke one more time, our JVIP. This third grade teacher. And Brooke, Kendall will help you carry out that bookcase, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
No problem. I got it.
Monday on the show, oh, that Midwestern mom is back. You love her Minnesota salads, Snicker salad.
Her singing.
Her singing. She's an opera singer. Plus some magic tricks from Christoph the Magician.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Am I getting sawed again?
No, we're going to make Ted disappear.
Okay.
That's right, yeah. Hey. Hey, as we enter Pride Weekend, I just want to say, if you're watching this in the future, my end of show message is even more important, especially in the days we're living in. So I'm going to say it slowly for those in the back. If you are a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week.